All right, I'm outside taking my daughter for a walk. She was getting pretty tired. I didn't want her sleeping too soon, so get her outdoors, get her moving, tried to take her to the jungle gym, but she wasn't having it. Anyway, she's snacking now, drinking her water. Crazy kids. But anyway, about to go back home, do a few plant chores, and repot a couple plants. See you guys soon. All right, everyone, now we're back. Well, actually, I've been home for the last few hours, but I have to get the little one to go to sleep. And you know, it's not the easiest sometimes. But anyway, I've got some plant chores that I really need to get done and kind of overdue. So this one, I keep missing watering day. Look at that. You can see it's getting a little wilted. I really don't want this one to die on me. This is my Monstera Constellation. This one was purchased by my fiance, and she purchased it for me for a Father's Day gift because I don't know, I wanted one for like quite some time. In the moment, you know, I was like, damn, these things are expensive. How do I get my hands on one? And anyway, so she found one off of Amazon, and here it is. 2 new leaves since then. It's growing wonderful. I've got it in my nursery pot that I've made with a Powerade bottle. And take a quick look. The roots are growing pretty good. And I think it's about time to pot it up. And let's see, so we have another plant that needs to be repotted. This is actually a propagation that I've been doing in sphagnum moss. This one right here is my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. And as you can see, the leaf started to brown, but I had hope. I just, you know, I took it out of its pot, chopped it, made sure, because it was having some root rot issues. I don't know if I was overwatering it or what, but there was this leaf. This was the newest leaf. 2 other ones that were pretty much browning off. And I just decided I'm gonna chop it up. And funny story is that this is the second time I'm saving this plant, because the first time I purchased this at Lowe's and it wasn't looking the greatest either at the time. So I asked the lady for a discount and she gave it to me. So I went ahead, took it home, cut it up, propagated that, and even that one failed. Mind you, I'm still somewhat experimenting with propagations. I'm not like the best plant dad or best plant parent that you could ever find, but I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow with all of you, and I know just enough for me to be able to continue this hobby and not be fully discouraged. So if you're dealing with discouragement, then you should probably stop yourself, think positive, and continue on, because, you know, it's just like everyday life. That's what you really got to do. One more thing that I should probably repot. I have this propagation here, which is a Monstera Esqueleto. Look at that cute, tiny little leaf, because it's not getting enough nutrients, maybe not even enough sun. It should be getting enough sun. We got sunlight coming through this window, which is somewhat of like a southwest, south facing glow, and it's doing wonderful. I mean, look at that root. That root is dramatic. That thing just shot right out, like literally within like a week and a half. And I've just been letting it sit in there for like the past 3 weeks. And it's getting ridiculous. So I think it's time to throw you into a pot. All right, let's see. What do I have sitting around me? Oh, well, anyway, this is actually the mother plant of this Esqueleto. We bought this at a Walmart. Look at that new growth happening right there. That's where I chopped it. So right there, you see where I chopped it, and then here is the new growth coming out. This thing actually got pretty long within the last like 24 hours. I swear it was like a little more than half this. That's wild. Anyway, so this plant is actually amazing overall, but has been a headache since we got it. Well, maybe not a headache anymore, but we brought home mealybugs on this plant. Thanks, Walmart. Anyway, so we brought home mealybugs, and it traveled onto my Gloriosum, traveled onto this Pothos, traveled onto my Marble Queen, and man, that was a struggle. If you guys need to know like how to deal with mealybugs, there's some simple ways to do so, which is either using a mixture of water and alcohol. You can also use a little bit of hemp soap, all natural hemp soap. Don't use no Dawn dish soap. That's too harsh. In my case, I've used this product from, let's see, let me go ahead and just grab the bottle for you guys. Let me go show it to you. So this plant spray right here has been my go-to so far. It's almost out. Anyway, so this is made by the Plant Bar Co., the Plant Bar company. This is called Dead AF. And this spray is going to be your on-the-spot treatment for spider mites, aphids, thrips, scale, and mealies. Use one time weekly for up to a month for best results. Well, anyway, so this right here is going to be your insecticidal spray. And you can spray, leave it, or you can spray and wipe it. Obviously, if you have live pests on your plant, if you can, go ahead, smash them, pluck them off, get rid of them, because they're gonna be not the best thing for you to keep on your plants. It is not fun. So keep it up, keep them clean. All right, so where do we begin? Ho, ho, ho. All right, so today's medium that I'll be using is going to be the same medium that I'll be using for each and every plant. We got some Fox Farms soil and fertilizer company. So it's a unique blend of good things from the earth and sea, containing earthworm castings and bat guano. Anyway, so this is gonna be, this is my favorite soil so far that I've used out of everything that I've used in the past. This does have some perlite in there. If you want to, you can go ahead and throw in a few extras to aerate the soil. You got options like orchid bark, extra perlite. In my case, I'm going to be using a little bit of coarse perlite, and probably a little bit of orchid bark just to aerate the soil a little bit more. But this soil right here by far has been the best for some of my plants, giving it great nutrients and keeping my plants alive.
Which of you are ready to be potted first?
Let's go with maybe the easiest one. Okay, let's see. You're sitting in a pot and I'm pulling out another pot for you. It's not that late, I'm not that tired. Yeah, whatever. So, let's see. Now right now we're actually into the fall months, but personally I don't have many advice for you as far as fall care. I live here in Hawaii where it's practically anywhere between 75 to 80 something degrees almost every day. And yeah, so the cool temperature problem is not a problem for me. Let's just say the coldest times of the year, maybe like around January, February, but even then it's maybe like 60s. Lowest I've probably seen is like high 50s, 58, but anywhere between 60 and 70 degrees in those cold winter months. But until then, I'll keep you guys up to date. All right, so I do have to mix up a little bit of this. I've got some already kind of like mixed up in here. This is literally just Fox Farm soil with orchid bark and some added coarse perlite. And I'll try to keep the recipe the same. I'll go ahead and show you guys real fast. For all I know, this might be enough. Nah, who am I kidding? Let me just make a little bit extra. Oh, these babies? You want to know what fishes are inside my tank? Come and take a look. If you guys are curious about what kind of fish I have in my tank right here, I've got 3 fish, a black molly, a Dalmatian molly, and an albino Cory catfish. Thanks for the nutritional water that I use to propagate my plants. Yeah, so if you guys are wondering, that's what I use. There's my coarse perlite, still sitting down here under the table. Just a little bit in there. This is Better Grow Orchid Bark. Now this one I purchased at Lowe's. Can't exactly tell you how much I bought it for. Maybe around $12. Google it, and I'm pretty sure the price is different in all areas because we live in Hawaii. It's expensive as F. But we make do with whatever we can. Zip that on up. All right, hopefully I don't have to dig my nose, touch my face, because I am mixing this with my bare hand. Bat guano. Touching bat poop. Anyway. Okay, throw this off to the side. Try not to make too much of a mess. Try to get most of it on top of my boot tray here. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the Esqueleto. Okay, so because it's just one root, we're not gonna pot it too deep. We're gonna pot it just enough to give it some air. We don't want it to get soggy in the soil and rot. So let's just say I'll probably only fill up the soil maybe about this high. That should probably do. Okay, All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take some of our soil, lay it at the base. Some at the base. It's all about the base, Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little bit more. I'll poke a hole to where the root shall go. Yep, see right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and shift my finger right down the middle. Get that root to go in there. There it is, first time coming out. That is amazing. Now look at that root there. Oh, and it looks like it started to shoot out a couple extras on the side there. But that should be, well, more than enough. All right, and just like I said, I didn't pot it up too deep. So just about right here, we've got that in there, right? In the soil. Placed it in there nice and gentle. And I guess it's gonna sit just like this. All right, so let's see. Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. Yeah, it's crazy how well the roots established into the sphagnum moss. You take a look right there. Oh, look at that. And there's the new growth as well. So it's doing wonderful. It's about to grow a new leaf. But yeah, this thing is like growing wild. Yep, so I'm gonna go on and get to it. Hopefully I don't ruin any of the roots trying to pull it out of the moss. Let's go ahead and moisten it up a little bit so it doesn't tug too hard. Yeah, we're gonna have to wet this sphagnum moss so that we can slide it on right out and get it potted up into there. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, it's good to have a bottle filled with water for any situation that you have when it comes to plant chores. Misting your leaves, watering your moss poles. Not necessarily, but there's a lot of scenarios that you could utilize having a bottle of just water. All right, get that water down deep into the moss. No, I definitely got to pull this out because I don't want this thing to be too soggy anyway. All right, how do I execute this? Stick my finger in there, wiggle it out. Okay. Slide it out nice and careful. Don't want to break any of those new roots. I'm gonna have to get something to poke out some of this moss. If this jar was plastic, maybe I could squeeze it up a little bit and slide it right out, but nah. It is what it is. Let's see, what do I have here on the table? All right. Gonna need some assistance. Let me get, skewers. Be right back. I've got skewers in my kitchen that are ready for use for plant projects, not for cooking. All right, let's continue. Okay, let's go ahead, push it around, pull some of this moss out actually, now that I got this skewer. All right, mushy moss. Don't ruin the new leaf. Don't ruin the new roots. We don't want none of that. Anyway, let's go ahead, pick out a little bit here. Oh, that's some rootage. I'm just glad that this plant didn't rot like the first one I tried to propagate. All right, let's see. Make it any easier. Yes, I did. Slowly. Oh, shy. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. There you are. Don't break on me. It's coming out. It's coming out. Nice and slow. Woo. All right, born at 8:58 p.m. It's almost like I tried to give birth to a new plant baby. Anyway, let's see what we can take off. We're gonna try and take off as much sphagnum moss from the roots. Trying our best not to damage any of them. It's okay to leave some of it when you're potting it up. So don't be afraid if you didn't get all of it off. All right. So there's something that I need to do before potting this thing up. I'm gonna show it to you guys in just a second. I think that's the most I can get off without damaging the plant, but I've noticed that one part of the stem is a little rotted. So I'm gonna have to cut it back just a little bit. So if you look right here, that right there rotted just a tad. But everything right here is all new roots with a little bit of sphagnum moss. Some new root here, going down, and we got a new leaf coming here. All right, let me get my cutters. Place the plant down here for now, and I'll be right back. I thought I had everything ready for this video sitting out here on the table, but you know, sometimes plant chores kind of throw surprises at you, and you just gotta be prepared. Not like prepared as in everything is just there and ready, but prepared to make some changes. So let's go ahead, chop this off. Show you guys right there. Once again, actually, let me bring you closer. I'm gonna cut it as close as I can. So right there, I'm gonna cut it as close as I can to this node, but I don't want any of this rot to be under the soil, or else that's gonna be bad for the rest of the plant. All right, so I have to cut it up a little bit. Now, nice clean cut. Clean stem system, no rot. Let's go ahead and pot it up. All right, so once again, same rule. Let's get some of this moss out of the way. Yeah, this moss was definitely starting to look a little mushy. Definitely about time for me to pot this up. It's probably what happened with my first propagation. I probably waited way too long and everything just like rotted, and here's proof right here. Okay, let's get our next pot. Let's throw this test tube out of the way. All right, let's go back. Okay. Let's put some of our mixture right at the base. Right at the base. Okay. Right at the base. Now we're gonna stick our plant to the best position that we can. Okay, just a little bit more. Pat that down nicely. And here we have a potted plant. Now I will be watering these plants after I'm done with my last one. But you want to keep in mind now, when you have your propagations finally potted up into soil, you want to make sure that you keep the soil moist for at least a few weeks, maybe about 3. You don't want it to dry out completely. You want to make sure that it has established itself. All right, and this one I'm nervous about, but last but not least, we're gonna do the Monstera Constellation. I'm excited. All right, so if you see, this 4-inch nursery pot is just a tad bit bigger. Depth-wise, maybe about the same. So, let's see, am I gonna repot it into this? I really don't wanna overdo it, but let's see. Deceiving. Now the original mixture of soil I have in here was actually a combination of Miracle-Gro soil with some orchid bark and perlite. And I'm surprised that it did this well, coming from a starter plant. I'm just really hoping that it loves the new mixture of soil and just like explodes with growth. Honestly, I think the diameter on this pot is actually a little bit wider. And the reason why I say that is because this Powerade bottle has some, edges here and there that probably makes it not as wide. There's gonna be a little bit extra room in there, but it could actually use a little bit more root growth, I should say. It's not like wicked. It's not like super wild to where it's like completely necessary, but I feel like this thing deserves a new mixture of soil. Now let's get to it. All right, first off, we're gonna go ahead and pull this baby out. I made this little support pole because it's been leaning. Little metal wire we bought from Daiso. Now let's go ahead and pull this out of the nursery pot that I made. Okay. Maybe I should have moistened the soil a bit. Yeah, maybe I probably should have done so. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut around the bottle. Trying not to cut any of the roots. All right, pulling out quite nicely after trimming the sides, and success. All right, let's see. Soil is definitely dry. I definitely waited too long to water this, but FYI, pro tip, you probably want to water your plants a day or two prior before repotting them, but in this case I'm sure we'll be a-okay. All right, let's see. The root system is looking amazing. Everything checks out okay. Nothing seems to be rotting. No root rot. That's perfect. Some beautiful, healthy roots. Everything's looking nice and white. All right, here comes the spray bottle. I'm gonna go ahead and try to rinse off some of this. All right, so that's pretty much the majority of the root ball there, with some soil, some orchid bark. Well, it's looking pretty healthy, I should say. So I'm like really debating now. Should I throw this into a 6-inch pot? Nah, I think the safest bet is to just throw this back into something close to its size. And that's gonna be this green 4-inch nursery pot. As much as I would love to have this in a clear pot once again, it's not easy finding clear pots here in Hawaii. You gotta just make your own, and I don't wanna go buying more supplies right now at the moment. So, go ahead and stick that in the pot. Now, let's see if I can get this thing to reposition as well, so that it's not so leaning over. All right, nice airy, chunky soil mixture. Now I'm gonna be wrapping this up pretty quickly. The rest of this is gonna be no audio. So enjoy, because I'm making too much noise. I'm waking up my daughter. And last but not least, I just have to water the plants. So I'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys liked this video, and hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you guys next time.